Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think these protests that we've been seeing in the United States and internationally in sort of demanding that we recognize Black Lives Matter really highlight failures of listening that we've seen for decades and centuries. And we don't yet know how to explain the increased support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Over the last 2 months, we've seen it really explode in popularity. But I do think it's important that we ask what it says about US politics and people's willingness to listen to their fellow citizens, that Black folks had to take to the streets to protest during a deadly pandemic, no less, in order for their voices to finally be heard by some segments of society. I do, again, do have reason for optimism. Like I said, these protests have seemed to be effective and gotten people's attention. Another issue that your question raises relates to the uneven burdens that this sort of view of citizenship can pose for some citizens. So inclusive deliberation will include not only the voices and perspectives of historically oppressed and excluded, but also the voices of democracy's enemies, like racists and misogynists. And so expecting people who are targeted by hate speech to listen generously and seriously to those who seek to oppress them is unfair, right? I think that that's true. But at the same time, you can't solve these unfair burdens by simply suggesting that some can listen less and some can listen more. Those who are most vulnerable to oppression often have no choice but to listen and listen carefully for those who would do them harm and who threaten them. So ultimately, I think it's incumbent for small D Democrats, people who are really committed to renewing democracy, to recognize these uneven burdens that go along with deliberation and a universal expectation to listen, and continuously think through how we can alleviate them, while also remembering that, the listening will not go on forever. At the end of the day, we are making decisions, and, we can say to people, we've listened to you, we've heard you. Here I'm thinking about the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. We can say, like, we've heard your perspective and we reject it on the grounds that this is racist, and sort of empower people to sort of make those responses forcefully.